I'm Eric Jones, Chief of Police for the Stockton Police Department. I want to welcome you all here today for this very special day where we are promoting two of our finest on the Stockton force, one to sergeant, one to lieutenant. And in these very challenging times with all of the things going on and the demands that police work, we have in police work, it's a great day for us to be able to promote these two to their positions because, as you'll find out in a moment as I go over their histories, they're outstanding individuals. I want to talk a little bit about just the police career. We know it's not just a job. It is a path and a career path for public service. We always remember why we sign up, which is to serve this very community that depends upon us. Our badge stands for honor and pride in what we do. The badge stands for the Constitution, for our freedoms, and it stands for protecting those who can't protect themselves. In law enforcement, we hold that line of order and protection for those who need the assistance. And as some of us move up in the organization or at whatever level we are with the organization, we have a certain amount of influence in the work we do and on others who are involved in police work. Certainly the lieutenant role, which Johansson will be taking here today, as a manager, he is a police lieutenant, a very important position within the Stockton Police Department. It's more than just management, which is processes and people management, but it's leadership. It's leading and directing our troops, and it's leading by example. Sean will be a watch commander where he will be leading an entire shift or troop of officers, so we'll really rely on him to really mentor and train and direct our officers. Sergeant, which Kuvion will be promoting to today, is arguably the most influential position with the police department. He will be a frontline supervisor, really where the rubber meets the road. He will be with these officers, many of the new officers, and will be directing, leading, and mentoring them out there on the streets. We have high expectations of both of you. I know you'll uphold them. I want to talk a little bit about Sean Johansson and his career as I promote him to the rank of lieutenant. So a little bit about Sean. Sean began his career at the Stockton Police Department on December 18th of 2000 when he was hired as a police officer. During his tenure as a police officer, he was assigned to Field Services Patrol, to SWAT, which is a Special Weapons and Tactics Team, Special Investigations, and the Gang Street Enforcement Team, and as a Community Police Officer, CPO. He was promoted to Sergeant on March 21st, 2008. During his tenure as Sergeant, he's been assigned to Field Services, SWAT, Investigations, and the Community Corrections Partnership Task Force. He has earned his intermediate, advanced, and supervisory certificates from Post, Peace Officer Standards and Training, and received his Master Officer certification on July 20th, 2010. Over the years, Sean has been recognized for his hard work and dedication to his profession and community. He has received numerous letters of recognition for his participation in a relay team benefiting Oregon's R Us. In 2006, Sean received a letter of good police work for his assistance with ensuring that the funeral procession of the member of an outlaw motorcycle gang went smoothly. In 2013, Sean received a letter of commendation for his assistance in locating an at-risk missing person who had boarded an Amtrak train but had not made it to his destination. The man suffered from the early stages of Alzheimer's, and his family was distraught when they could not locate him. Sean was one of several people who searched for the man and who later located him approximately 5 hours later. Again, as lieutenant, Sean will be assigned as a watch commander to the Field Operations Division, Patrol. And Sean, on behalf of the Stockton Police Department, it's my absolute pleasure to announce your promotion to the rank of lieutenant. And I will give you your lieutenant's badge now. Congratulations. Yes. Come on up to pin.
Well, thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Kelly first for coming, my girlfriend, her mom and dad, my mom and dad, my Aunt Helen, my Aunt Arlene, Greg from Best Logistics, thank you for coming. My sister, Andrea, my family for coming. Joe Schmidt, retired police officer, coming. Lieutenant Flesher, retired police officer, for coming. Steve Taylor from the DA's office. Gordon, all you guys are retired, for coming. Doug and Mary Eberhardt from Bank Stockton, thank you for coming. Sharon Seamus, I see you back there, thank you for coming. Carlos Villapudua from the Board of Supervisors, thank you, sir, for coming. Mayor Silva, thank you for coming, sir. Donnie Vieira, thank you for coming. Gunny Castro, thank you for coming, my brother. Elijah, thank you for coming. Lieutenant Will, Lieutenant McLaughlin. I had to take a couple notes just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I use the iPhone though, not paper. Thinking green. I mean, I'm humbled by all of you coming. First of all, thank you very much, everybody. Mark, great friend of mine, great guy. Went to high school together. Both Mark and myself were raised here in Stockton. We went to school here. I went to high school with Mark, and the one thing that that I think is kind of cool about being here at Stockton is that, like Captain Sager, I know you're here too, sir. Thank you for coming, sir. Being raised here, you know, and serving as a police officer here has been a great honor. It's really hard. Kind of a troubled little city, but it's still fun. Also, you know, being a cop here and being raised here, you know, you have friends that kind of fall on both sides of the spectrum, so to speak. You try to maintain decorum there, but, you know, it's just kind of how it is. Yeah, hey, we got that, yeah. So, also my friend Jim, my realtor, Jim and Joseph, both good friends of mine. Thank you guys for coming very much. I know it's hard to get from Sacramento from your busy days. Thank you. One thing I always tried to do is try to emulate my dad and Gunny Castro. Gunny Castro's always been a role model to me. This guy in the Marines. You guys think I'm hardcore? You have no idea, man. Elijah, his son, and he's a sergeant at Department of Corrections right now. This guy has been on my professional career. You want to talk about leadership, man. My neighbor, Leslie, thank you very much for coming. Most humble guy. I mean, your son, Doug, her son is a, I don't follow, I mean, my football knowledge is about like zero. So, but her son is a professional football player, and he is the most humble guy. So that just speaks to your parenting. I think it's phenomenal. Great neighbor, and been over for some great parties. You know, growing up here has been it's been an honor to be a cop here. It's a difficult time, but always a fun time. Lieutenant Flesher helped me a lot, sir. Captain Anderson, I know he's here. Sergeant Anderson. Doug, you helped me a lot. Thank you for all your help. I'm humbled by the way that the Chiefs and by the way Captain Jernigan has treated me since promoting. Before I promoted, there was a brief period where they didn't have enough lieutenants, so they made me an acting watch commander. And the captain treated me very well, showed me a lot of leadership. Once again, a PT fanatic. I think it's important that as police officers we maintain the level of combat effectiveness. You need to be able to shoot, move, and communicate with the captain. Gunny Castro's influence. I remember when I first checked into this story, and then that's it, then I'll bail. But when I checked into my last Marine unit, I got there at like 4:30 in the morning because the Marines like it when you're early, believe it or not. So I got there a little bit early, and there was this guy out there running with a hooded sweatshirt on. I was like, who's this guy? You know, I thought it was just another Marine. I subsequently learned it was my boss. And anyways, always pushed me, always kept me motivated. So I'll wrap it up. But hey, thank everybody for coming. I appreciate it. And it's a great honor to be a lieutenant in the city. So thank you, Chief. Sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. He brings up a great point. He brought up a lot of great points. But actually, we've got two Stocktonians here. And that makes us proud as leaders in this city too, when we've got Stocktonians coming on the force, rising up through the force. So now it's my pleasure to talk a little bit about Mark Kuvion. Mark was hired as a police officer by Stockton PD on April 3rd of 2000. He previously worked for Fresno Police Department. He has held the following assignments while here at SPD: Patrol Officer, Investigations, Gang Street Enforcement Team, SWAT, Vice, the Violent Crimes Suppression Task Force. He was a Field Training Officer, a Community Policing Officer, and part of the community response teams. Mark has earned both his intermediate and advanced post certificates. Over the years, Mark has received recognition from other agencies and his supervisors for his fine service, and here are some highlights. In November of 2007, Mark was awarded a letter of good police work for his assistance with the surveillance and arrest of a bank robbery suspect from outside our jurisdiction. In January 2014, Mark received a letter of commendation for his assistance with the rimfire that began on August 17, 2013, when we provided service and assistance up to that jurisdiction. In March 2014, Mark received a Meritorious Service Award for his actions during a high-risk incident in which a suspect who had previously carjacked a citizen led officers on a high-speed chase. During the chase, the suspect fired multiple shots at officers before the driver lost control and flipped the vehicle, trapping the occupants. Mark worked with several other SWAT team members, officers, and firefighters to devise and execute a plan to remove the suspects from the vehicle while keeping everyone else safe. These are just a few examples of his fine service. So Mark, on behalf of the Stockton Police Department, it's my pleasure to announce your promotion to the rank of sergeant. Congratulations.
Yeah, I had to write it down. Chief Jones, I'd like to thank you and the command staff for this opportunity. I'd like to thank the mayor and the council members for being here and for your support. I'd like to congratulate Sean Johansson. You're going to do a great job, and I'm proud to stand up here. Two former Lincoln High colleagues, if you will. I began my career 18 years ago after I graduated from Sac State with a degree in criminal justice where I earned full honors. All right, I made up the honors part. I went to the academy at Butte Junior College, and when I was done in 1996, I applied to the only department that I wanted to work for, Stockton PD. After they rejected me, I didn't really have a plan B. So, although that living at home with your parents was cool after college, I felt like I needed more. So, I began applying to agencies throughout the state. In 1997, I was hired by the Fresno Police Department. After 3 years of working there, I knew it was time to give Stockton PD another shot. I was hired with Stockton in 2000, worked patrol a couple years, gang street team, vice, FTO, back to the gang street team, which turned into the community response team, and then to the gang detectives just last couple years. Of all the assignments, the one that meant the most to me was my time in SWAT. I was 1 month shy of 12 years on the team. I'd like to thank Lieutenant Rose and all the SWAT sergeants, all the current operators, and all the former operators for everything you taught me and for always doing things professionally and keeping each other safe. The SWAT team taught me more than I could have ever imagined, and I was proud to have played a part. Yesterday was the perfect day to step away from the team. One last warrant. We drove about 45 minutes to a house, executed the warrant safely, recovered, I believe, 9 guns. 2 of them were Uzis, 2 pounds of meth, and when it was all said and done, we could laugh that we got our big armored car stuck about 2 feet deep in the mud. Took a photo of it, of course. And when we got back to the police department, on the back of our SWAT vest, we have our name tag. it was hard to take off, but I knew it was time. So I took my name tag off and was like, well, unless we get a call out, this is my last SWAT mission. Well then, as I'm writing this speech last night, we got a SWAT call out. So there I went. We responded, and again, did what we needed to do, and got home late last night. Back to our families where we belong. I can't name everyone in my career personally that's helped me. So SWAT and all the assignments I've worked, I hope you just know who you are, know how much you've meant to me, and I thank you. Today I have with me my father and mother-in-law, Jerry and Mary. They're here with with my brother-in-law, Robin, his wife Liz, their son Lucas, and daughter Mia, who's an amazing singer and dancer. I'd like to thank you for your support and for being here today. I'd like to thank my mom, who we're lucky just lives a few blocks away. We can always go to her house for refuge. Mom, thank you for your support. My dad and his wife Lena. Lena, you've been a great addition to our family, and we thank you for all your help. My sister Karen, you inspired us with your battle with cancer. And you're a great sister, but a better mother. That's a compliment. She's here with her daughter Brooke, who was just named to the National Honor Society for her good grades and great character. She's here with her son Jack, who's my fishing buddy and a great baseball player who will be playing for the Giants this year. Go A's. I'm an A's fan, can't help it, but I'll root for you, Jack. I'd like to thank my wife, Melissa. We have 2 8-month-old daughters, you may have heard. Our journey together continues to grow and gets better every day. Thanks for being such a great wife and mother. Thank you for all your support, and I love all you guys. My dad is probably the main reason I'm so passionate about Stockton and Stockton PD. He's an extremely hard worker and great father and great grandpa. If my daughter Samantha starts to stick her tongue out at you, you can thank my dad for that. I chose my dad to pin my badge on me to recognize that he has over 10,000 volunteer hours with the Stockton Police Department as a reserve. He worked really hard for the department in the city, and I wanted to recognize him for that. And that's all I have. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Very proud of these two. You know, we take our professionalism here at Stockton PD very seriously, and I know these two will emulate it and will pass that on to a lot of the officers as you lead. You're both leaders for the department now, and both have very, very important roles, and I know you'll do very, very well. Again, very proud that they're Stocktonians of their career here at Stockton PD. We're going to be in good hands. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. And we have some special guests today, Mayor Silva, Supervisor Viapudwa, and we had a lot of others here today that really makes it a very nice promotion ceremony. Let's give them both one more round of applause, and then we'll come up and congratulate them.